Welcome back to another podcast of Heal Without Harm. My name is Dr. Clayton Dir, physical therapist, and today we are going to be talking about ladies who should be strength training, which if you're a lady, you should be strength training. That's the whole premise of today's podcast. The special guest that we have on is Madi Jenkins. She is a PE teacher that was kind of done with it and decided, you know what, I'm going to go PE all of the humans. And so she opened a gym out of her garage and then grew it to what is now Grit and Grace, which is the dopest gym in all of whatever Derby, Kansas's zip code is. So, Madi, welcome
My God, Clayton. Never, ever put us in a room where it's not PT related.
Oh, yeah, we would talk for hours.
This is going to be Energizer Bunnies on monsters is what it's going to be like.
This may be the one podcast that you actually listen to on 0.75 speed because that's the speed and rate in which we will change topics on you.
We both talk extremely fast.
For sure. I've actually gotten better.
You have
with
gotten
this,
better.
where I try to like talk slower.
But I'm not going to lie, when I've listened to some of your podcasts, I'm like, am I on speed? Like, what is this?
I know. But I go through periods within that one podcast. But
I do the same exact thing though. Okay. Yeah. Hi.
So let's go. We'll keep this part short because I really want to lay into the depth of why everyone listening should be strength training, but really lean into the gals that are listening.
Right.
How did you go from PE teacher at Derby to owning a gym, which was kind of like your third gym because you've had to move it a couple of times because more and more people keep showing up.
Yes.
So go from like PE teacher to what is now Grit and Grace.
Well, I will have to like not dumb this down, but like completely summarize this.
Straight up cliff notes.
But it all started when I was 16, to be honest. This was my dream. I knew I wanted to do something physical activity related, whether that be fitness. I actually was planning on going to school to be a sports psychologist. But then when I went to college and I cheered is when I fell in love with powerlifting, which is when I got warped, I don't even know if that's a word, in just strength training. And I fell in love with it. And my husband and I's goal was to open up a gym, but I graduated in college through COVID. So that kind of put a damper into things, and we were welcoming our first baby at the time. So instead of jumping into the dream, I put myself as the back burner. I put that dream as the back burner and tried to find something more stable. That way we knew we had a consistent income coming in. And that's why I became a PE teacher because I love kids. I love teaching. Obviously, that's a trainer's job, is you're a teacher. And I grew up in the school district, in the school system. So, and I got to play games every single day, like active games. So, of course, PE was my realm. Which actually, sorry, we should hire you. Me and Jake talked about doing an adult PE class. I was actually going to bring that up. Yeah. I would love that. That'd be so much fun. But I taught for 2 years. And ironically, I taught in the same building as my dad, which was so cool.
He was there working with you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I never knew that.
Oh, I'm the third Heilman generation to work in the Derby School District.
Fantastic.
It was so cool. Honestly, it did not leave a bad taste in my mouth. Like I could speak. Don't get me wrong. In any career that you go into, there's going to be flaws. There's going to be pros and cons. You know what I mean?
The idea of grass is greener if you move jobs. Like you're going to have just a new set of problems.
Exactly.
Like it's normal everywhere.
And so I did not leave on bad terms, and I'm so grateful I didn't because it was truly a blessing, and I feel like I was meant to go through those 2 years because also what landed me in the high school powerlifting coach position too. I would not be able to do that if I was not in the school system. But that second year, the school system is rough, and being a PE teacher, it was like glorified babysitting is what it was, and I wasn't happy. I was not happy. I felt like I was presented a ceiling, and I'd gotten to that ceiling, and my soul's purpose to be on this earth was to impact, change lives, and to serve. And being around kids, don't take this harshly, that told me day in and day out that they do not care. Like that does something to someone.
Oh, it wears on you, yeah. Especially because you're doing what your passion is, and other people are like,
and they don't. I don't care.
Great.
I don't want to be here. And I'm like, this is not what I want to do. And I actually sat down one day, and I don't know how this came to mind, but I decided to make a list on what truly makes me happy. And besides, God and my 2 boys, it was coaching, and not PE coaching, but fitness coaching.
Yeah, like one-on-one or
one-on-one
many.
Strength training, because I was still teaching boot camps and online training and doing all the things while I was teaching. And we just got to a spot, and honestly, God's plan is amazing, and you shouldn't expect anything because it's in his plan, not your own. But everything just kind of fell into place, and I quit my job and I said, see you later.
I feel like there's like two different things there. One, there's the old country song, Unanswered Prayers,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you can pray all you want, but sometimes like what you don't get is what you needed.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the second thing is my wife was asking like, oh, could we go part-time? Like she wants to become a part-time teacher. And she's like, could we do that next year or the year after? I was like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like
literally.
it's not a straight up burn the ships.
Yeah.
But it's that model where it's like, well, we've adapted to everything we've had come at us so far. So if we're going to do this and we're waiting for the perfect time, then we might as well never do it. So we need to just do it now.
I honestly am doing that right now.
Cool.
Currently doing that right now. I actually got asked at the beginning of the year, what is your 2025 goals? And I was like, I mean, we have goals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not a goal-oriented person. I am 1,000% a goal-oriented person. But that's almost put me behind and put more pressure on myself. Mm-hmm. So this year, especially with expecting number 2 and everything we've got going on with the business, I'm kind of like, okay, this month, this is what we have to focus on. And I'm just going to, take it day by day. And whatever comes is supposed to come. Whatever doors open, we're going to walk through and see what it provides.
Yeah. So how did you go from like literally working out of your gym to, I think it was called the garage. Mm-hmm. You were there for like a hot 90 days, right? Something like that, 90, 100 days. And then you're like, wow, there are too many people supporting me. This place is too small. And you jumped over to what's now Grit and Grace.
That's so good.
I mean, do you even remember that? Or do you just feel
I
remember
that. No, I remember it. I wish I was more present during that time.
From the outside looking in, almost how could you?
Right.
I mean, by the time you got all the equipment moved in, you had like 20
we were there
classes.
for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then it was actually the day before our grand open. We were doing a grand opening of the garage. Mm-hmm. And I messaged my landlord and was like, we need a bigger space.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this the night before our grand opening of our current space.
Yeah.
And it all kind of fell. So I started through our house garage. I was only there for 3 months too.
So when I came out and did a workshop there, you were still like pretty fresh?
Yeah.
Oh, I
didn't start till June.
Wow. Okay. The jive that you had going there, I like assumed it had been a thing for a while.
Well, because I had been training on the side. Okay. I've been training at the school. I've been doing free teacher boot camps.
Yeah. Which honestly, genius marketing and an amazing way to
Well, and I love my teachers.
Well, I know. And that's where it's like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes the best marketing is just like genuine giving.
Yes. Okay. So I had a conversation with the owner of Range 54, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Gromit. And we were talking about it, and I go, I know that I need to do so much business-related stuff, and there's marketing, and there's all these things, and you got to follow the trend. And I'm like, but that's just not me. What I thrive in is the relationships. Yeah. And he goes, well, we build our business off relationships. You're doing the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, okay, I think
those are also going to continue to give.
Yeah.
Like, to me, if you're like Coca-Cola, you have to roll the trends because you're selling the same product, not a service. Right. You're selling the same product over and over again. So it's like, how do I continue to get in people's eyes?
Right.
To where something like what you're doing, it's like you want to be here in 10 years and you want to be like, people still love you. Yeah. So it's got to be relationship based.
Right. Because I'm not going to lie, I started to get into that mindset of the business side. What do I need to do business wise? And I go, I don't like it. Like, this isn't me. I don't feel genuine. I feel like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing because I'm thinking so much about the technical side and the numbers. Yeah. It's like, that's
I think you need a taste of that, right? Or you need like a business coach. Yes. You need like a low key like COO to come in and like help operate those things potentially. Where I think what I've learned in our business and then like watching yours is like, if you want to go slow but be here almost forever, like do it the way you're doing it. Yeah. If you want to go faster, then become more business minded, but expect some bumps along the way. Yeah. And it's like hard to adapt and get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, I need to push the business side because if you can't feed your family and you can't keep the lights on, then you're doing something, quote, wrong.
I believe you have told me that before.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And so I think the ultimate takeaway is like, how do you do the dance between the two consistently? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's so rough on entrepreneurs is everybody else that works for you, or they get their check and they go home. Yep. And now I want to see the business grow, right? Like I feel like I'm an entrepreneur, but like you go home with all the heartache of
Oh
we're
my
gonna make rent next
goodness.
month and all those kinds of things.
Yep, you are not wrong.
So
You are not wrong.
so we got into the space, or you got into the space of Grit and Grace where it is now.
Yes.
And it seems like you really focus in on ladies.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Cool. But you also have a high school powerlifting team. So if you had to say, like, if 100% of the people that come to you, what percentage is like middle-aged moms kind of in that realm, and what percentage of is it like 12 to 18-year-old, 12 to 20-year-old like high schoolers?
I would say a good 75 to 80% are my women.
Okay, cool.
Just because my classes run that place, like just the classes and don't a lot of, not a lot, but some of my class members have moved over to being 24-hour members.
Oh yeah.
Or they've moved over to being 24-hour members with me customizing their program. A lot of my customized program are women. I do have some males that I'm programming for, but my powerlifters are also women.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So that's the thing is, like, we have a women-based powerlifting team. I think there's 20 of them.
Do you guys have a name for that?
SheHulks.
Love it.
It's so cheesy, but you gotta She-Hulk it out. Like, it just makes it fun, you know. Anyway. So women run that space, but a majority of our 24-hour members are male because they want to strength train, obviously, and they want a strength training catered gym, and that's exactly what we are. We're not Planet Fitness.
No.
We're not specifically group fitness classes. Like, I offer classes, but you also come in and you can use the space. Like, so, but to answer your question, mainly women. Yeah.
So I'm curious because when I see ladies come in with pain as a physical therapist, I always like jokingly say, I feel like I'm sitting here with like my evilness, and I'm like, just to get you on the hook of the drug of like weight training. Like, you know, it's like day one they come in and they don't do much and they have some pain. And I'm like, by visit 4, we're going to be deadlifting 100 pounds. Yeah. You're going to freaking love it.
Yes, you were going to be upset. Yeah.
And so that's the version that I see, where I see mainly people in pain. But I'm curious when gals show up at your gym or like in your DMs or whatever it is, when they reach out to you, where are those ladies in their life?
So, okay. How do I want to start this? We have gotten, I don't want to say the flack, but a lot of people are intimidated to walk through our doors. A lot of women are intimidated.
Like I tell people, like, I haven't been to the Y in a year or two because I like trained at different places now. I know my way around the gym.
Right.
I'm a PT gushing and I look like I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm still intimidated to walk into the YMCA weight room. So how in the hell do you feel like a 45-year-old woman who's never weight trained in her life, who's probably got some body image discomforts?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's going to be scary for them too.
Oh, it's 100%. Well, and it's not more necessarily the space, but it's the barbell.
It's the idea.
It's the squat racks.
Like. Yeah.
It's, I shouldn't deadlift. Like, that's
I'm not worthy of that.
Yeah, well, not
that's
even
going to hurt me.
Well, yes, that's going to hurt me. They have that stereotype of like, that's not good for us. And I'm like, okay, let me show you. First of all, I am not throwing you into the deep end of the pool and not giving you floaties. Like, that's not how I coach. That's not how you should be coached.
Agreed.
If that's how you are coached, then let's take a step back. We're going to take it step by step. I'm an all-in when it comes to business things, because if I don't go all in, then I'm not going to do it kind of thing. But not when it comes to coaching, because that's how you get hurt. Granted, if I want to bring Clayton more business, then that's how I do things. But that's not our purpose. That's not what we're going to do.
Well, and I think also a coach that does it right will generally not need them nor their clients will need too much PT, because strength training solves most pain problems.
Exactly. And doing it correctly. But it's what's so funny is how I've gotten majority of the women that have came into me is from word of mouth of other women that are with me.
Yes.
Because they've experienced it. They're kind of the proof. And then when their friend tells them, they're like, okay, if she's doing it, then it might not be so bad.
Yeah.
I could post all the videos in the world, but it's the fact that I'm doing bench press, deadlift, all these movements, it terrifies them.
Well, and you've, quote, been doing it for so long, you were just built that way.
Right.
You know, but it's like, but then if you see your photos, weren't you a flyer?
I based
okay.
my entire middle school to high school, but then once I got to college is when they wanted to switch me as a flyer.
Okay. So you were smaller at that time.
I was smaller that time.
Smaller and like,
yes.
and what's the word? Like lean, or like you're more petite in regards to like.
Yes.
Yes. Which we could go down the route of like, you know, what comes with that of trying to like stay low weight so you can fly.
Yeah.
But if someone sees that picture and shows that like you didn't show up in the gym as strong as you are now, that's where you could potentially rope in some ladies. But it's also still challenging because everybody wants to, I feel like, identify themselves different than you, and that's the reason they can't do what you do.
Yeah.
But it's like the reason you are the way you are is because you kept showing up over years.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you kind of talked about that, because I almost forget myself, everything that I went through in order to get to where I'm at. Because I also bring up my postpartum journey. I use that too, because that was my saving grace, not just in the fact that it helped my body, but it helped me mentally.
What helped you? What do you mean?
Being able to strength train again, going through postpartum.
Yeah, returning back to the weights.
Returning back. Like it's because you're a new mom, everything's so new, and you feel weak in every avenue, mentally, physically, because you just got done carrying a baby and now you're going through postpartum. That's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do.
Watching my wife go through it, also the hormones that you guys go through is insane.
Right.
With breastfeeding or not breastfeeding, and then like you don't feel yourself, and then like the 6 months after my wife got done breastfeeding, I felt like I got my wife back.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I need to go tell all the dads I know.
Please.
Like, just bear through it. Like, dude, like, because you're going to question at times, like, does she even love me? And it's like the amount of stuff that you're under, you know, through that time period, it's like, she'll come back.
Right.
And we also talked like 2 nights ago, like it's so infuriating, like how much you're like, am I just like my hormones? Is that like all I am?
Yeah.
Because the amount that those will change how you feel, like day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, you're like, this is so infuriating. But it's like, get through. And when you get done,
through. Yes.
Like Maddie will come back.
I will. But, and that's, I mean, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and had no idea the impact your thyroid has on you. But I was like, I don't feel myself. This feels weird. I'm crying in the middle of my workout. What is going on? And then obviously there was other health things, but I realized I was pushing myself anyway. Postpartum is the same way, but it's strength training was my saving grace in that matter, because it also helps with your hormone levels. So too,
yes,
and
it does.
It
does a lot.
So I kind of, it's one of those things where I'm not going to push you to come walk through our doors, but once you walk through our doors and you take a step and you decide to take a chance, you're going to wish you've done it sooner.
And you hear that from how many of your ladies? It's just, I think what's so hard is when you have something that can help someone so much, not only did it help you, but it helped the 50 ladies that you've worked with, or however many more. And then you see somebody struggling with something, you're like, gosh dang it, if you would just like show up 3 times a week. Like the amount of happiness that I can near guarantee you on the other side of this thing, it's like, how do you not want to just like grab somebody and be like, just do it. Like, it's so frustrating. It's like, especially because like someone like you and me who have a heart and we're like, just come for free. Like, I don't care. Just like, please be here. You know, and like just talk to the lady next to you and realize that you're the same person. They're just 6 weeks ahead of you.
Literally. Yes. Well, that's the other hard part is we have different levels.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I actually just had 2 join my early morning class, and my early morning class, I would put them in a competition with any group fitness around here. Because if I say we're getting to work, they're getting to freaking work. Like, they're there to get the job done, and okay, my day has started, I'm ready to go. But I had 2 that joined, and I've actually been able to adapt as a coach, which I'm really proud of myself for, but I also bounce all over the place, so I'm not surprised. But some of my ladies will do the compound movement squats, but then some aren't quite there yet. 1, they're not comfortable. 2, they don't have the strength yet to really get under a barbell. So they're doing other movements that I programmed specifically for them, but they're doing it together. So that helps. I could not imagine if I just had one lonely lady over here having to practice bodyweight box squats, or strengthening their lower body with the leg press while everybody else is doing but squats, barbell squats. You know, that's kind of defeating. But that's one of the beautiful things about those classes, and what I've loved hearing my ladies tell other ladies is modifications are not a bad thing. They do not mean you're weaker. You're at a different level. Everybody starts.
You're on step 2 of the 10-step thing, right?
Everybody
and the other people are on step 5. Yeah.
All of these other ladies that you're seeing doing barbell squats started where you're at.
And legitimately, I know it's intimidating to go into a gym and see bigger, stronger, faster, like jumping higher people.
Yeah.
But I think what I love about fitness is every person that you see in the gym started where you were.
Yeah.
And I don't know many people, even people that you may think are like rude people, are going to look at somebody in the gym and be like, why are they here? Like, they're going to be like, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
And they're going to look at you and say, I remember when I was there.
Yeah.
And that may have been 6 months ago. That may have been 6 years ago. That may have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like, there was a meme or like a photo that was shared, and it was like a picture of people in the weight room. And it talked about, it had like words over each person. It was like, this person's battling, depression right now.
Yeah.
This person almost didn't show up. This person like just lost their father. This person, and it just like put the story behind every person that was in the gym and what they're using the physical exercise for to get through mentally.
Right.
And so it's like, if you just want to show up somewhere that's supportive in the first place, like go to a gym. Specifically, in my experience, it's more of the private-owned gyms, places like Compelled, Grit and Grace, Risk Barbell, Top Crop, because people are there with a purpose, and they're generally there for the community, or maybe they're there to like look prettier, but then they're like, oh wow, there's a pretty dope community here. Yeah. I'm going to stick around for that.
Yeah.
And that's to me where actual life change takes place.
Exactly.
And that bleeds into your relationships. That bleeds into you like choosing to eat a little bit better. Now your friends are talking about, what supplements they take, or how they meal prep more, as opposed to like, where are we going to go drinking tonight? Like you start to see that culture shift in that person, and then that impacts that person's family, and then it just keeps going. And so that's where it's like, I love it. Just getting people to walk through that door, like you don't know how your life is about to change.
No, you don't. And the friendships that are made and getting to watch those friendships form are really cool. It's really cool. It's probably one of my favorite parts. And just, it's fun. It shouldn't be something you dread. If you dread going and doing any physical activity that you're wanting to do, then
do different physical activity.
Yeah. Like do something that you enjoy. You don't have to. I mean, here's the thing is I'm over here like, I like lifting up heavy bars. That's what I like to do. I also kind of like to run, but I don't like yoga.
Yeah.
Not a Pilates gal.
Well, okay, so let's go on that, right? So why don't you like yoga and Pilates? I'm not trying to convert you, but like put out the reasons. Like you said earlier, I'm not really liking teaching. What do I like?
Yeah.
And you wrote down all those things. So let's flip it.
I don't know if these are good enough.
Don't you like about Pilates and yoga? I'm not saying they have to be good. I just want to know them.
So I've done hot yoga. And
that's your first problem. Start with regular.
Right. Well, I know. I did hot yoga and it wasn't bad. I appreciated it. But I think now that I know more of the mobility side of things, I would rather do mobility exercises as a warm-up before I go lift heavy things than go to a yoga class. I am not a slow down person, even though I need it. So
I think your body tells you that at times too.
My body tells me that at times. But I could still slow down and do the mobility routines that I've been given. And I'd rather do that than yoga. I'm not, which is crazy because I was a flyer and the coordination and balance that was required for that I did for years. You would think that would be something that I'd enjoy, but I'm not, it's not, I like to throw on some loud music and lift things.
Yeah.
Like not, find your zen. Yeah. I'm not a zen person.
You're like, my zen is when I can't hear anything but the music and the weight's slowly coming off the ground while I'm giving it all my might.
Yeah.
Well, so the reason I asked that is I've always been more of a strong, powerful person, not a do this for a long period of time person. So like strength and power versus endurance.
Right.
Plus I'm asthmatic. So like I just hate running and cardio in general. But last year, I realized that my CrossFitting was getting limited. Like I couldn't keep up with everybody, not because of strength. Like I could pick up that heavy weight, but I couldn't pick it up 10 times and then run around the building because I would start to like fall off. So I was like, I need to improve my cardio. And then I was like, cool, I'll start running. And it's like, Clayton, you're not going to run. So then I signed up for a half marathon and then I went through that process. And so I knew my body needed the running. Yeah. Although I don't like running.
Right.
But I knew like Clayton, just like suck it up and keep going.
Right.
And now I actually enjoy running quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I would still rather a barbell, but it taught me appreciation for it, especially when like Alan here, he had his fractured ankle or he had ankle surgery. And I've told this story on the podcast before, but when I was running and his wife was like, hey, I just saw you running. And then we talked about how like Alan would wish to run, even though he doesn't like it. I'm like, okay, I get to run.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciated that. But the reason I bring this up is this goes back to like seasons of life, which I know you wanted to cover. And I think, I wanted to build strength, and honestly, like the idea of showing up to a gym 4 times a week and doing like hypertrophy training or like bodybuilding style, like sounds boring. Like,
right.
And I used to love it. And I remember thinking at 18 years old, why do people go to classes? Just like write a workout and go do it. Like what's so hard about this? Like talk about ignorance. But then it was like, oh, I love CrossFit, which I still greatly do. But now I've also kind of liked running. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll run a couple times a week and weightlift a couple times a week. And I start to get excited about all this variety that I get to add in.
Yeah.
And then I know in the future, well, maybe I'll like to do yoga at some point in time and really see if I can just like soak into that and then on to the next thing. And instead of feeling like I have to do all the things right now, like I'm going to keep pushing on this. So maybe for you, it's like, I'm going to keep pushing the barbell. I'm going to keep pushing this.
Yeah.
And then maybe like when I hit 30, 32, 34, like yada, 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 maybe I'll get into yoga then.
Right. Well, so I'm actually going through it right now.
Okay.
Because I'm restricted because I'm almost 20 weeks pregnant and there's some complications. Not complications, but little man I'm seeing it as a lesson because Clayton, you've known I went through a period where I pushed myself way further than I should have and ended up, backfiring on me and had other health complications that came to surface. And it made me open my eyes. But I kept telling myself, I'm going to slow down. Like, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to do it. But did I ever really do it? No, I didn't in certain avenues. I did it in certain ways that I thought was slowing down. But truly now I feel like this is God's way of being like, you are going to have no choice. And the other thing, to be completely honest with you, is this has really opened my eyes that the reason that I was really pushing super hard is because I have goals, obviously, but my physique, I didn't realize how much actually meant that much to me then than I do now, because that has been the one thing I've been tearing myself apart on is because of my changing body. And I'm ashamed of it. I'm not going to lie, because I'm someone that speaks about body positivity and going through seasons of life. And you shouldn't compare your body to somebody else's on the internet when I'm horrible at it. I'm 100% guilty. And I'm even more guilty of it now because I feel like I see even more of a drastic change because I'm not able to do X, Y, and Z. But what it has allowed me to do is be grateful and pour into the things that I wasn't pouring into beforehand, like my mobility. Bless Kirsten, because she knows how I am and gives me some routine and some exercises that I can do that still will kick my butt, but not in a factor where we might be doing my body a disservice for some of the things that I'm restricted on. Band work, body weight work, and just getting outside. I've been doing a lot more walking because it's been nice out, and it's opened my eyes to, okay, I thought I was slowing down, but now I'm really having to slow down and rest.
Yeah.
And pause. And
a phrase that comes to mind is kill comfort. And I remember I heard somebody talking about like killing comfort. And for some people, they think, all right, I'm going to kill comfort. I'm going to go lift this heavy thing, or I'm going to go do an ice bath, or I'm going to go do fill in the blank. But for some people like yourself, killing comfort's not showing up at the gym. Even though that's hard, it's not showing up at the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody's comfort killer is something different.
Right.
And although it's normally do the hard thing of like showing up at the gym, or it's doing the hard thing of like sitting in the cold water for 3 minutes, or it's doing the hard thing of waking up early, like if that's your jam and that's your norm,
right,
then maybe the opposite is what you need to do. Now, I'm not giving everybody who is weightlifting an excuse to like not show up.
Right.
But to me, you remind me a lot of the youth athletes that I'm coming across now where they want to do more. And I'm like, you need to do less. Like what you actually need is the other side of the scale, which is more recovery. And I'm not saying you specifically at this stage need recovery, but you clearly can only push things so much because your body has told you numerous times. I'm just going to beat this dead horse. Has told you numerous times, and it's like, girl, like God's looking down at you, like, girl, would you just listen? But what's nice though is you get to finally pull away and say, okay, fine. What are all those other things I'm not good at, or I'm not flexible at, or I need to go work on? And you have, what are you, like 4 or 5 months now? So you have
5
like
months,
3 to 4 months, depending on how little guy does,
right?
Of like, okay, like I get it. Pause button is forcibly pushed, and now I get 3-4 months to like no other choice, go work on these things,
right?
And what's nice is as you get postpartum and as you get back to like your quote unquote norm, you'd be amazed what you'll be able to do differently and do better because you finally went and worked on those things.
And I
know
you
weren't good at.
This postpartum is going to be completely different than my last postpartum. The other thing that I think has been really getting in my head is because my last pregnancy, I was able to go balls to the wall.
You said after your last one?
No, before, when I was pregnant with Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
I was squatting 255 for a 5x5, deadlifting 315 for reps. And I know, again, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pregnancy is different. Everybody's life is different. I get that. And I say it all the time. I'm my worst hypocrite. But that's been hard to like look back on of why can I do that now? I was able to do that 5 years ago. Why is this pregnancy so different? But it's another lesson. Seasons of life. Like we can sit there and get mad about it, but you focus on what you can control. And that's what I'm kind of but that's what I've been switching my mind to is like, okay, I can sit here and get mad and get frustrated and get down on myself, but what is it that I can do?
And honestly, that's liberating, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like if you can get there.
If I can get there. Yeah. I have good days. I have very good days. And then I have some days where I'm like, it's defeating. Mm-hmm. But it also doesn't help that I'm in the gym 24/7 and coaching. And I wish I could be so grateful for what you're being able to do right now. Mm-hmm. For people, like you said, running, Alan wasn't able to, and it made you open your eyes and be like, wow, I get to do this.
Yeah.
I wish more of us had that mindset because there are people out there that don't get to do that. Yeah. And they don't understand the blessing that it is being able to push your body to that extent. So, but we're hopping all over the topics.
No worries. You did mention Kirsten. Who is she to you?
She's more than my pelvic floor therapist. She's my saving grace. Just kidding. Yeah, kind of. She's not like you, both of you guys, everybody in that office. I feel like you're not physical therapists. You're professionals, but you also build those relationships with your clients to where friendship level, like it's more. It's not just a come in and get out kind of thing. You're not, I don't walk in thinking, okay, I'm this 30-minute time frame, So Kirsten's heard a lot of my difficulties and stuff like that. But she is a pelvic floor therapist that I see.
I think one thing that we have the luxury of is time with her people. And it's literally treating the whole person. And I don't like the word holistic approach because I immediately think of like beads hanging from a doorway and like boho type stuff, which I'm not against, but it's like we still have plenty of like Western medicine, like very straightforward physiological approaches. But I've said this also on the podcast where if you're going under a ton of psychological stress, then you can expect physiological manifestations, right? So, hey, I'm really stressed about these things. My body may feel different because of it.
Yeah.
And if we don't have time to talk about those things and go into them, then we may never uncover the root cause of why this is really going on. And that's, I think, one of my favorite things. And I think it's very foreign to people like the gal that we had on, the gal that I was treating just before this recording. I could tell it was weird to her that we were asking like how her sleep is going. Like, do you go to sleep at the same time every night? And I could just see like in her eyes, like, why are you asking me this? Like, I'm here for shoulder pain. But if you're not, again, putting the eggs in the right basket of recovery, sleep, and repair, then I can dry needle your shoulder and bring you back next week, and we can just do this week to week.
See you next week. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I want to actually fix your problem. And especially because she was complaining of the last therapist that they never got anywhere. And it's like, well, maybe it was stuff that you were doing on the background. Not putting any blame, but I need to know all those things because if I'm doing the right stuff, you're doing the right stuff based off my recommendations. But at the end of the day, you are only sleeping 4 hours a night, which this isn't her. But if you're only sleeping 4 hours a night, then you can expect the quality that 4 hours a night of sleep gets.
Yeah.
I think it all boils down to inputs and outputs. If you keep doing this inputs to your body, which we've talked with you at sometimes it's like doing too much, just to give a real life example, then why would you expect any different outputs, right?
Exactly.
If we know that you're pregnant currently and you're having some challenges with that because your body's like doing the best it can, but little dude's trying to like challenge you here, then don't expect non-pregnant 21-year-old Maddie's outcomes.
Right.
And to me, what that does, though, is it tries to, I was just listening to another podcast, and they were talking about decision-making and thoughts and the difference between like amygdala and like fear firing and emotional decision-making and very like logical, like prefrontal cortex, front of the brain. And at times we want to have emotional conversations because if you're complaining about emotional stuff, I want to be with you emotionally and listen. But we want to slowly tap into like, hey, let's bring some logic into here.
Right.
Not that you're being illogical or irrational.
No, yeah.
But let's bring that in so that we can kind of bring reason back to like lower down the fear.
And it's not surely driven by emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, how do we find the balance between those two? Ultimately, to where it's like, why would you expect anything different than this based off the circumstances?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, I know, but and it's like, I know. And if I was in your position, I would be pissed
It
too,
would be
by the way.
same
Like,
way, yeah.
and that's why I try to consistently tell people, especially because I just fractured my hand a couple months ago. And I was like, all these things I couldn't do. And I'm like, I just want to be able to do this. And it's like, dude, your hand's still fractured. Like, why would you expect anything different? And it's just this weird, like, towing of this line of like too much one way, too much of the other. And that gets really challenging.
It does get really challenging.
Okay, so we will definitely have you on in the future to talk more about this. But one of the big takeaways that I wanted to have is more people in general need to be strength training, specifically more ladies, especially if you're 30, 40 plus and never done it. Because as you reach that next season of life of menopause, perimenopause, pre, post, all that, your muscle mass and your bone mass will start to go away, whether you want it to or not. And I'm purposefully trying to scare you just a little bit, because if you don't light the fire under your butt, then you're just going to be given pharmaceuticals afterwards to be like, oh, here's what you can take to like increase your bone density and all these things, when you could 100% do it naturally on your own. Plus, I've communicated and treated enough gals going through menopause on all the different hot flashes and hormonal symptoms that you'll have. In strength training, I guarantee you will curb those. It'll make them less bad. And it'll make you happier as you go through that process. And so, Madi, I'm going to ask you one big question, a couple fun ones after, and then have people find you from here.
Okay.
So first one, the big one. There's a lady listening right now. She's somewhere between 35 and 45. She's never weightlifted before. And her first step was simply just listening. It was just like, oh, this looks like an interesting podcast.
Yeah.
What does she do from here? Whether it's with you or anybody else, what does she do? What's that next step?
I would start kind of Googling around your area, gyms, trainers, female trainers. Nothing against male trainers, but I just think in the female population, we're more comfortable.
No doubt.
With another female trainer. Unless you're like, no, I want a male trainer. I feel like he can push me more. Then Google male trainers.
Do your
research. Don't be afraid to ask around, read reviews, but also don't create a biased opinion off those reviews either. And I would just say, I'm also somebody that I like to see all of my options before I make a choice. So maybe have a few consults. Some trainers, like me, for an example, will offer free consultations. And so it's a free 30-minute period. We sit down, we chat. You get to know me. I get to know you. I also offer what I think is best suited to you based on the story and what you have told me, what your goals are. And we kind of see where we can go from there. But I would just do it. Like, you won't know until you take that step what's holding you back. Like,
and it may scare you, but do it anyway.
Yeah, do it anyway. You at least you can look back saying that you did give it a try. You did take a step, but also kind of think about what are the excuses that you're making in order not to be doing it.
Yeah. And just think about your life afterwards. Like, what would 1 year from now, if your name's Karen, what would 1 year from now Karen want? Like, what do you wish you would have decided?
Right.
And it's taking fear, and instead of having fear be in front of you, looking at you and stopping you, put fear in the passenger seat and say, we're going.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. A couple fun ones. What's your favorite food or snack that you could eat?
Right
nonstop?
Now,
this will be a good one.
My craving right now is a beef and rice bowl with Worcestershire sauce out the wazoo. I have to get 2 bottles a week. So this is how I make it.
I think you could lessen up on your element.
I can't lessen up on my element. But I make my rice. I put 4.5 now ounces of beef because I'm up in my protein. And I mix the rice in Worcestershire sauce. And then I put my rice, put my green bell pepper, and I load it with red onion because I love red onion. And then I put more Worcestershire sauce on it. Mix it up. There's my beef and rice bowl.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, that is my craving.
If you had to do a supplement food, what's your favorite protein bar? What's your favorite protein Pop-Tart, shake? What's your favorite thing like that?
I can't eat any majority of the protein bars because I'm allergic to nuts.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and majority of them have tree nuts in them. So
Gotcha.
I just stay clear of all protein. But I did have this little shake. And come at me if you will. I'm not a supplement junkie. Okay, I don't really take supplements. Jordan just got a new protein powder, which has been awesome. I've been mixing it in with my Greek yogurt. But I also tried the Chobani protein shake, like little mini.
Yeah.
It's not really
I
a protein.
actually just saw your post on there. Yeah.
So good. It's so light, 20 grams of protein. I didn't feel nauseous after I drank it. It wasn't like a big gallon thing.
It was pretty small, like 12, 16 ounces.
Yeah, a little sippy thing. And it was fruity and light and delicious. And I think I'm going to have more of those.
Deal. Sounds good. Chobani, reach out to me for a sponsor.
Chobani. We love Chobani. Yogurt and all.
Okay, so the lady that was listening, we're going to call her Karen. She's like, you know what? I live close enough to Derby. I want to do this. How does she find you?
Our gym page is G&G Training, 24-hour gym. It's G&G Training Gym on Facebook.
So letter G, the and symbol.
The and sign,
G.
Training Gym on Facebook and Instagram. And our logo is like 2 G's looking at each other with stars around them. If you are looking for me, I am Madi J19 on Instagram, MADIJ19 on Instagram, and then just Madi Jenkins, MADI Jenkins on Facebook. DM me in one of those places. I check my DMs on the daily, almost twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I do respond more with email, but if you look on both of those pages, my email's on there as well. But a DM will do.
Perfect. I will put those down below. And you can also reach out to Madi to get her free 30-minute consult. And I promise you, if someone that you're reaching out to doesn't offer something like that, they're not going to be able to get you as good results, simply because if it's not tailored to you and they're not listening to your why and the goals that you're wanting to reach, you may get improvements. You probably still will, but you're not going to reach as high goals as you want. And so I really recommend reaching out to either Madi or someone in your area that's going to offer some sort of consult to get personalized care or personalized guidance directly to you. If you know someone who could benefit from listening to this specific podcast, somebody in their 30s, 40s, 50s, female or not, please send this to them. Please send it on and have them listen. And also, if you haven't yet, please leave a rating or review for the show. It helps it grow, helps me get out to more people. It would be very, very helpful. Yes. And if you'd like to leave that rating, post it to your story, I will share it and I will leave some words along with that. So hopefully today, this podcast helped you learn how to heal without harm. And thank you, Madi Jenkins, for coming on. We will see you guys later.
Bye.